This is National Native News. I'm Art Hughes, in for Antonio Gonzalez. As the Navajo Nation struggles to get a surge of coronavirus infections under control, its president is asking Navajo citizens to take individual responsibility to keep the virus from spreading. On the talk show Native America Calling, Jonathan Nez called on residents to keep pressure on non-essential businesses to remain closed. He also made a special plea to take care of elders.
We're hopeful now that we got these rapid tests, we could be able to have an accurate overview of the Navajo Nation on hotspots and begin to target those areas with isolation and quarantine facilities. We have 3 that are being proposed. We got dollars to do that for utilizing our own money, Navajo Nation dollars. We have to use our own money because we couldn't wait on the federal government. And there's going to be one a step down healthcare facility that's being built in nearby Gallup, New Mexico, in a gymnasium. We're looking at a gymnasium in Chinle, a gymnasium up there in Shiprock, and also some hotels and maybe some BIE dorms, making those into a quarantine or isolation center.
Nez has instituted a curfew for residents and most businesses that will last at least through April. The Navajo Nation confirmed this week that the number of COVID-19 cases surged past 1,000. More than 40 people on the nation's largest reservation have died from the disease. A clinic run by the Northern Arapaho Tribe is responsible for 20% of all COVID-19 tests conducted in Wyoming. Wyoming Public Radio's Savannah Maher reports.
Wind River Family and Community Healthcare is funded by IHS and run by the Northern Arapaho Tribe through a 638 self-governance contract. Business Councilman Stephen Fasthorse says that has allowed them to offer private testing to any tribal member who wants it.
And that's the beauty of 638 because, again, we expended our own dollars to bring those testing capabilities to our membership.
The clinic has tested 1,400 people, more than any other facility in Wyoming. There are some questions about the accuracy of private tests, but Dr. Paul Ebert, Chief Medical Officer at the clinic, says they've identified 4 asymptomatic cases through the mass testing.
A couple of those people were in situations where they could have been super spreaders, where they either worked in a local store or were going from house to house because of their housing situation.
The Northern Arapaho Tribe is also offering quarantine housing in its hotel to those who test positive. For National Native News, I'm Savannah Maher.
After nearly a century, the Land O'Lakes company is removing the so-called Indian Maiden from its dairy and butter packaging. Forum Communications reports CEO Beth Ford said the company is planning to instead add images of farmers who produce the milk for Land O'Lakes products. The Native American woman, who the company dubbed Mia, first appeared on the products in 1928. She was dressed in buckskin and feathers and offered a box of butter while kneeling. The design changed several times and more recently featured only the head and shoulders of a Native woman. Critics decried the images for being racist and for depicting Native American women as sex objects. For National Native News, I'm Art Hughes.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Hey, Ivan. Good to see ya.
You too. What brings you here?
I'm informing people about the 2020 census.
The census? Yeah, everyone knows about that.
They don't. They really don't. But I do. And when we participate, it helps determine funding. You know, for things like grants and programs in our communities.
Cool, that's good to know.
The census is for all American Indians and Alaska Natives. Shape our future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.